Yeah, I mean, you know, ever since the defeat, you saw the footage on Matchroom Boxing YouTube where he came over and said, please make the rematch, make the rematch. Of course, you know, he feels like he was in a good place in the fight and it all unfolded very quickly. So he'll want to put those wrongs right. You know, I think it's important that whilst he's finding it difficult to have a rest, you know, he did get beat and he did get stopped. And I think he needs 3 or 4 weeks just to just calm down and just relax his body, because he had a huge camp leading into that fight. So what are we, 3 weeks after the fight now, so he is just training in bits and pieces, but still resting to go into camp probably in another 2 or 3 weeks. And November 14th or the 21st will be the date for that fight, and we'll announce next week. You know, it's gone from a fight that really holds the key to the mandatory position to the fight that really holds the key to Dillian Whyte's career. You know, if he loses this fight, he can forget about a world title shot. So huge amounts of pressure on Dillian Whyte. If we thought there was a lot of pressure in the first fight, there's even more pressure in this fight, because this is really his world title ambitions on the line here. And, you know, for Alexander Povetkin, they're calm, they're confident. You know, they're saying, well, we just won by knockout. We're going to come and do it again. So we're going to see that fight turn around quite quickly. Looks like London, November 14th or 21st, and there'll be an announcement next week.
What do you think of the heavyweight division nowadays?
All right, Joshua's there, so listen, everybody's good for their time. I don't think they're bums or anything like that. Everybody just want to have something negative to say about somebody.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
these are guys, this is their time. They're the best of their time. You got to give them that credit. You can't compete them with guys of the past or guys that are coming up now. This is just their time.
This is what it is right now.
This is what it is right now. This is the time we're going to judge it from right here.
What do you think about it? It's an interesting group at the very top of the heap, right? Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. I mean, it's an interesting group at the top level right now.
No, it's not interesting. They're all exciting fighters.
Yeah.
They're all going to make a great deal of money if they just need to fight each other.
Yeah.
Just stop bullshitting. Just all fight each other. Fight each other a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then when this stuff is over, your guys could say, hey, listen, we did it our way.
Michael, what does Dillian Whyte have to do in the rematch to make sure the same doesn't happen again?
Hopefully not really take the fight in December. I think it's not a really good idea for him to take that fight so early. Or he would just have to get back in. He would need to be back in the gym like right now, you know, and be working on these things. I think it would have to be a certain type of a mentality that he would have to take to just kind of figure out and study. And, you know, because sometimes when you have certain fights, you know, you don't even like to watch these type of fights, or if you do watch them, you're not watching them with attentiveness. You know what I'm saying? You're not watching to learn. You're just kind of watching, and you know, you're judging yourself instead of learning from yourself. So I think if he has the right mindset and he carries that all the way through until he fights Povetkin, then I think he would definitely beat him, and there would be a trilogy involved.
I mean, it was a bad knockout defeat. He was knocked out cold. Do you think there could be some mental scars there, psychological scars going into the immediate rematch?
You know, he got knocked out, so, I mean, not to say you can't put a Band-Aid on it or it's not going to heal up or be stronger than before, but it was a wound, you know, it was it is an open cut, and depending on his energy is how we're going to know how healed he is from the situation. Like I said, I really think it's a little too soon for him. I was more surprised to me that Dillian dropped him than actually Povetkin knocking him out.
Would a loss in an immediate rematch, would that spell the end of Dillian at world title contention?
Yeah, I think at world title contention for sure. You know, in boxing, you know, it's this is just the game we're in. That, you know, when you lose, you know, you kind of drop at a steep place. You know, so. For him to lose twice in that fashion, you know, it would, you know, nobody's going to give him, you know, that type of opportunity. He would have to fight his way back up, and I think he would have to deserve it. Now, if he beats Povetkin, and especially depending on the fashion, I mean, I think if he even edges it out, I mean, I think, you know, he's done enough to, you know, secure himself and to heal that situation, you know what I'm saying? So I think he should just focus on Povetkin if he is going to take that fight, and just be 100% all in, you know?
In regards to Deontay Wilder, he's been quite quiet from Deontay's side. Are we right in presuming that talks are advanced and that is likely to happen this year? And
it's
if not,
contracted. There's no talks. There's no talks to be had, Matt. It's contracted. All we've got to do is all we're trying to do is find a venue. There's zero. The only talks that to take place there are, this is the date. We're working very hard to find a venue or a site that we can make sure we can generate enough income from to ensure the guys get the purses that they're due to get.
what looks like the favourite site, or what sort of area are we looking at for the third fight?
Look, they're talking about Vegas in December. There's been a couple of offers from a couple of other countries from around the world. But as I'm sitting here now, there's nothing concrete because everybody's in the same boat. No one knows what's happening. Some countries like the States, for example, they've got big problems there, haven't they? Vegas, I think MGM just laid off 18,000 people last week. So, Vegas is not in a healthy state, that's for sure, financially, let alone being unhealthy anyway because of the pandemic. So there's problems everywhere. That's where, it's the world we live in at the moment, unfortunately.